Hello, my name is Pastor David Ballard. I'd like to welcome you to another segment of Bethel's Bread. Today we're going to be in Galatians chapter 5, verses 14 and 15. The Bible says in Galatians chapter 5 and verse 14, "For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." Verse 15 goes on to say, "But if you bite and devour one another, take heed that you be not consumed one of another." I think something we're having trouble with in our churches today is not losing folks because of the things that are out there, but losing folks because of the things that are in here. I worry that sometimes we have such a quick desire to go ahead and pick at and bite at one another that I think it's infecting inside of churches, and it's making it so it's very difficult to even go to church. I have a question for you. When you go to your churches, I wonder if there's somebody that could come in that room that could sit next to you that would just ruin your day. I wonder if we go to church looking to be picky at somebody, to be not willing to care about them, not willing to love them, not willing to show Christ through us to them. The Bible says you should love your neighbor as yourself, and I think sometimes we don't love ourselves very much, and because of that we look for ways to condemn somebody else and look for ways to cut down somebody else, not to cut them down, and not that we really think that about that person, but it's because we feel so bad about ourselves that we want to get everybody else to come down to where we are. The title today is, don't ever get that hungry. Don't get to a place where you want to chew on somebody else, that you want to tear somebody else up, because let me explain something to you. You very seldom ever go to the person that you're thinking about. Generally, you go ahead and take that information that you have and you have the desire to tell somebody else about that person. That's what we call gossip. One of the worst things in the whole wide world that a person can have is a habit of being a gossip. So what you do is you take that information, give it to somebody else. By the way, whether it be true or false makes no difference. It could very well be true, but if you're speaking that truth into somebody else's ear, you're using it for nefarious purposes. You can tell me that you're not, but I've never seen a case where that's the truth. You tell that person the truth to condemn or hurt or cut somebody down. You're using that not to bring to attention somebody else's issue. What you're doing is you're telling that person something not to make them look worse, but to make you look better. That's the horrifying thing of it all, is that you'll tear somebody up. And by the way, the information that you give somebody in confidence, I'm confident of this, that information is going to get to the person you're talking about. And when it does, it's going to cause strife. It's going to cause, it's the biting and devouring one another happens when you tell somebody something bad about somebody else. They'll take that information to that person and it will get to them. True, false, or otherwise, it is truly amazing how quick we are to tell on somebody else about something. Now, on the flip side of that, if you go ahead and tell somebody else something good about somebody, that information will also get back to somebody. I want to challenge you to do this. If you want to talk bad about somebody, go ahead and take them off to the side and talk to them personally. If it's something that they spiritually need, then go ahead and take them off to the side. But before you go ahead and take them off to the side, I challenge you to get yourself to the altar. Get yourself to the altar of God and talk to Him about it. Maybe He can make those adjustments that you can't make. I am amazed at how quickly we put ourselves in the place of God, determining what the judgment and what that a problem ought to be in a person's life, and you go ahead and take it to them, acting as if you're above that. I feel bad about those things. Sometimes things needed to be pointed out, but it's amazing if we go to God first, how He'll probably take care of that problem long before you ever get there. We have a problem in our churches today. We have a problem of biting and devouring one another. The reason that is because we've got a void in here. Go to Jesus Christ. Let Him fill that void. You won't look at other people so much, and you won't nitpick at them. Oh, their shoes don't match their dress, or their purse doesn't match this or that. It's amazing to me how even anybody, by the way, not just ladies, it's everybody has this issue of wanting to point out other problems that people have, and it's to make themselves feel better about themselves by making somebody feel worse than they truly are. I hope this helps you today. Be kind to one another, tenderhearted. Be somebody that wants to encourage somebody else. If you do that, I promise you it'll help your life and it'll help their life. I hope this helps you today. My name is Pastor David Ballard, and this has been another segment of Bethel's Bread.